Hello, Internet. Welcome back. I am back by unpopular demand. I can't even say unpopular demand, can I? By no demand. No one's interested if I'm back or not. It'd be nice to be back by unpopular demand because at least it would mean people want to see me in a negative way. Being disliked is better than just being ignored, I suppose, isn't it? But I'm back. If you've got nothing better to do on your evenings, then come and watch some of my videos. I appreciate a few minutes of your time. In today's video, I wanted to talk about Real Madrid's transfer window and give it a ranking, maybe out of 10, to see, if I think it's been a worthwhile transfer window so far. It's July the 31st as I'm recording this. So obviously, the window's still open. Things can change. But as things stand, we've signed 4 players. And yeah, I just wanted to chat about them. This is some good pineapple juice. If no one watched my last video, by the way, please go and check it out. I did a 3,500 kilometer bus journey from Lima all the way to Santiago. I recorded a bit of it. It's in the last video, so yeah, a little plug. Anyway, so far then we've signed 4 players. We've signed Trent Alexander-Arnold, Dean Huijsen, Alvaro Carreras, and Franco Mastantuono. I'm not exactly 100% sure the pronunciation. But if we start off with Trent then, to me, this is a 10 out of 10 signing. And it's not because I think Trent's world class, by the way. I'm not going to say he's world class because I don't watch Liverpool week in, week out. I don't really like to judge players if I'm not watching them all the time. Obviously, I'm aware of his strengths. I've seen games, I've seen highlights of his, but I'll wait before I really get to see him play week in, week out before I judge what level he's at. But why I think this is a 10 out of 10 signing, I mean, first of all, we've already got Danny Carvajal, and Danny Carvajal, I think, is one of the best right backs in the world, and he is a real, true, all-round fullback. He defends well, he attacks well. There isn't many flaws to his game, and he's a complete fullback. So if we went out and got another all-rounder fullback who can attack and defend, he's just going to be probably a worse version of Danny Carvajal. So what we've done is gone out and got a completely different type of player to Danny Carvajal. Trent can probably do things that Danny Carvajal might not be able to do. I actually think Danny Carvajal is a great passer and crosser of the ball as well. I think he's underrated for that. But I think Trent certainly has the edge on him attacking wise. So I like that because now we've got 2 fullbacks who are different. They offer different strengths. We can use them differently in different games. And to me, that is a fantastic option to have on the bench. Whichever one starts and whichever one's on the bench, the other one can come on and change the game for us. And the second reason is because it was a free transfer. Getting a player who's 26 years of age, possibly a world-class talent, without paying a transfer fee, I mean, that is a 10 out of 10 sign, and that's as good as it gets, in my opinion. Now, moving on then to Alvaro Carreras, and this one's a little bit difficult to rank because, first of all, he's a left back, and we desperately needed a left back. It could be argued that left back was the most important position for us to strengthen going into next season. So whoever we signed, I was probably going to give extra points for just because of that reason. But I made a video a few weeks ago talking about different left backs we could sign. And to me, Alvaro Carreras, from what I've seen, and especially the data, what the data suggests, because I can only really go on the data. I don't like using data too much, but I've just not seen him play very much, so I can't use it on the eye test. Hopefully, in a few months' time, I'll be able to give a more rounded opinion on him once I've seen him play every week. But the data suggests he isn't world class at any one particular thing. He seems to be a very well-rounded fullback, but he doesn't seem to excel in anything. Now, he's 22, which is a perfect age because it's not too young that he might get scared or it might be a little bit too much for him, but he's also could be here for the next 10 years if it works out well. So his age is perfect. He didn't cost that much money. I mean, if 40, 50 million in today's market isn't much money, I suppose. So the money's not too bad. He's also a former youth team player. That also kind of ranks it a little bit higher for me because I love seeing academy players coming back to play. He does offer different qualities to what Fran offers at the moment. He's big, he's stronger, he should be better in the air. I'm going to give that one a 7. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I'm not blown away by it, but I'm also not disappointed by it at all. So I'm giving him a 7. Moving on then to Dean Huijsen, and I mean, come on, this has got to be the easiest of all them to rank. I mean, this has got to be another 10 out of 10, surely. I mean, he's 20 years old, he's a Spanish international, he's great on the ball, he can read the game, he seems to be good in the air, he can dribble, he can score goals. I mean, he already looks comfortable at Real Madrid as well for his age. I don't know if there's a better young defender in the world at the moment than Dean Huijsen. So, yeah, 10 out of 10. I mean, he also seems like a cool guy as well. I don't know if you can give a point for being a cool guy, can you? I mean, Lucas Vazquez is a cool guy, but I wouldn't exactly rate him very highly if I was doing a list. So, but yeah, no, I couldn't be more happy with this signing. Again, also an area of the pitch that we really needed. You know, there's a good chance next summer both Rudiger and Alaba could leave. We don't know how Militao's going to come back from his injury, so we needed another centre back. And Dean Huijsen looks like he's already going to be a starter going into next season. So couldn't ask for more, and we didn't pay that much money for him either. So again, fantastic business from the club. 10 out of 10 that signing. So I'm just having a look here to see how much Dean Huijsen went for, because I actually forgot how much he cost. 50 million quid for Dean Huijsen. I mean, Jesus, you know what? Harry Maguire went for 85 million. I think we sold Varane for 70 million. I mean, I could go on about how how ridiculously overpriced some players were. So getting Huijsen for 50 looks like a steal. Looks like a bargain. Moving on into the last player, Franco. I'm not going to try and butcher the last name yet. This one's a very difficult one to rank as well, because I literally know nothing about this guy. I've seen a few clips on YouTube since he signed, but I'm not even going to pretend that I know anything about him. All I'll say with this one is Madrid have done a fantastic job, and I think it's something that a lot of other clubs, Chelsea, Man United, I could go on, they need to learn, I think, from Real Madrid. Barcelona do this well, actually. I've got to give them credit. But Real Madrid do something very fantastically well, and that is they bring in youngsters who seemingly have no kind of future in the first team. Or at least if they do, it's quite a few years away yet. But it allows them to develop and train with world-class talent. You know, we brought Militao in 2019, and he barely played for 2 years. You know, but I'm sure he would have learned under Ramos and Varane. You know, Gula didn't play much in his first season, but he's just spent the last 2 years playing with Kroos, Modric. Now, you know, he's got an opportunity, and he's a few years older, and he should be ready to kick on. And, you know, we did the same with Camavinga. He got to play, you know, a season with Casemiro. I mean, and you can go all the way back to, you know, Benzema coming in and getting to play with Raul, for example. I mean, I think these are very useful things for youngsters to be able to experience. You know, it's not always about getting game time. It's about learning under the professionals. And you know, we look at Huijsen at the moment struggling at Man United because he's got no one else around him to learn from, right? So in that sense, I think it's great that we brought in Franco. Now, I did just say Huijsen then, didn't I? Playing up front for Man United. I meant Højlund, didn't I? There's Haaland, there's Højlund, there's Huijsen. Whoever the guy up front is for Man United who literally can't score. He couldn't hit water if he fell out a boat. I mean, look at that old joke there. I'm an old guy, come on. Yeah, the terrible striker at Man United. That's the guy I'm talking about. So going back to Franco then, what would I give this ranking? 7 out of 10 to me. I mean, 6, 7 out of 10. I can't say it's amazing. I don't really know much about the guy, but any sort of 18-year-old who we bring in now for, you know, with a 4 or 5 year plan into the future, I think it's fantastic business. He's going to be able to play with, you know, if Rodrigo stays, he's got a whole season playing with Rodrigo. I'm sure you could learn from a player like Rodrigo because he seems that type of player. He seems to be a dribbler. We also don't have that many. The type of profile he is, we don't actually have too many players like that in the team. Probably only Brahim Diaz, I would say. So, yeah, no, I'm giving this a 7 out of 10. Now, before we give an overall rating for the transfer window, we do need to talk about the player sales and also the players that we haven't signed yet. Because personally, I still think we need a number 9. It hasn't been addressed so far this summer. Now, if you tell me that Gonzalo Garcia is going to be given a first-team opportunity next season, I'm fine with that. I actually would be I would champion that. So that would be great. As things stand, that hasn't been decided. We also don't know what Enric's going to be doing because some reports are saying he's going to be given the number 9 from Mbappe for next season, and some reports are saying he's going to go out on loan. So we don't really know what's happening with the striker position at the moment. So that's an uncertainty. And also, I do think we need another ball-playing central midfielder. We've got a lot of great athletes in our team, but not enough technical ball players at the moment, I think, in our midfield. So personally, I think if we could have found someone on the market, and that seems to be the problem. I think the club are looking. We were linked with Stiller earlier in the summer. Nothing seems to materialise from that. So we've only really got Dani Ceballos, I would say, that can dictate the tempo at the moment. Hopefully Gula can develop into that. So I do think that's a fault as well so far in the transfer market. Now, maybe that will be addressed, but as things stand, it hasn't. And when it comes to player sales, I'm pretty sure the club want to get rid of Mendy. They want to get rid of Alaba. They can't find anyone to pay for those players, of course, because, you know, why would they? So we haven't done great at selling players this summer either. So that would also bring it down. But overall, if you're going to push me, I reckon you've got to give this transfer window 7.5. That seems fair. 7.5. It's not been outstanding. You know, we've definitely signed a couple of players in Trent and Huijsen that are real standouts, but they are both defenders. So I think had we signed a number 9 or another midfielder, then you're looking at 8.5s, 9s. But for me, I'm giving this a 7.5. So thanks for watching, everyone. And also, I forgot to mention as well, talking about sales, they weren't exactly sold, but we did get rid of Jesus Vallejo, Luka Modric, that's so sad, and Lucas Vazquez as well. Now, Vazquez and Vallejo I'm very happy with. So that also should contribute to freeing up some wages as well. And Luka Modric, although I really would have liked to have seen him play for another season, you know, he is going to be 40 soon, and he's on a big wage. So from the the club's point of view, the financial point of view, maybe it's not a terrible decision. So we have freed up some spaces there in the team. So I do think the squad this season is going to be stronger than the squad last season. So in that sense, it's a 7.5. But thanks for watching, everyone. Anyway, I'll see you soon on another video. Take care.